Oh. At first I thought this hair was mad. But now I think it's not. I think it's like, I think this might be the beach waves everyone talks about. Beach waves. I've not been near a beach in like 6 months, so. This is the Grace's hair after it's been tied up in a bun for about 365 days solid. Ah, here it is. Hello everybody. Hi and welcome to Babbles Travelling Yarns podcast. I'm not finished setting up yet. Oops, let's finish setting up as we do the podcast. That seems reasonable. How are you? It's been a pretty intense week. Okay, so I have a load of things to talk to you about. First off, I'm just going to welcome you to this space. Thank you so much for joining me. I love that you're here. You have arrived into my craft room, which is in Limerick, which is in Southern Ireland, or otherwise known as Ireland. And yeah, so it's on the west coast of Ireland. You're more than welcome to this kind of windy, grey, miserable day. Have a cup of tea. It's cold out there. This is when I wish I had a fire in my house, but I don't because it's a new house. And they're like, oh, the environment. And I'm like, oh yeah, that's why I do all the things I do. Oh, never mind. Okay, I just really want a fireplace. I just love the cozy, whatever. So, I'm drinking black tea. It's Barry's tea. See the inside of the cup? Stained so much because of tannins. Nice. No fancy tea here for me today. Solid Barry's tea, get you through the day. It's like, this one is a little bit strong, James. James is the tea maker. He's very good. I shouldn't really judge him in case he stops making me tea. Can't have that. Anyway, yeah, so I have a few really exciting things to talk about and then some very important things to talk about. So let's start off with the exciting things. I have a new venture that I want to talk to you about. Now, it's not only me this time. I'm part of a spinning group in Glore. It's called the Midwest Spinners Group, and we're a part of the Guild of the Irish Weavers, Spinners and Dyers. And every month we meet up on the first-ish Saturday of the month. It's all up on the Glore website, and it's also on the Irish Weavers, Spinners and Dyers website as well if you're interested. If you're around West Clare, or if you're around Clare, around Ennis, anytime in the next 6 months, have a little look and see if you're going to be around on one of the Saturdays, because it's a really lovely group to pop into and say hi and get chatting about weaving or spinning. So if you're thinking of visiting Ireland in the summer, and I know a lot of you are, because I've gotten a lot of emails about people who are interested in coming and where they should go, this is one place you should add to that list. Okay, so Glore definitely, but there's a few women in Glore who are who have decided to set up a actual permanent space for Irish fibre crafters, and this has been spearheaded by Sandra of Meet the Wool. She's a fabulous lady. You may have seen her in my natural dyeing workshop video that I put up. She was the one teaching. Now she has been working with fibre. She's got sheep of her own. She's been working with fibre for a long time, and she said that she's originally from the States, from America, and there's a place where she lives, where she's from, where a bunch of ladies have got together and actually set up this kind of cooperative working space, which she's always wanted to do. So she's come back here and she's done it. Crazy. So it's called the Irish Fibre Crafters, and it's going to open in February, I believe, the 23rd of February ish, and it's going to be a community space for crafters to come and spin and weave. There's going to be space to set up large looms. It's going to be up in the village of Ardrahan. Let me just double check. Yeah, Ardrahan in County Galway, which is near Gort and Kinvara, and it's on the loop. It's on the Wild. There's an inland loop that's going to be from the Wild Atlantic Way, which is a fantastic drive all the way up the coast of the west coast of Ireland, all the way up to Donegal, I think, down to Cork. So Donegal's at the top, then you go down into Connemara, Sligo Mayo, and then you've got Galway. And then you've got Clare, and then Limerick, and then Kerry and Cork. So we're going to be in the square. It's going to be a building off of the square in Ardara, which is so exciting. Ardrahan. Gosh, I keep saying Ardara, and that's a place in Donegal with an incredible weaver studio up there. So what's that going to be like? So they're going to have space for spinning and weaving. But there's also going to be a shop and a gallery for people who want to buy products. So there's a couple of pieces here that I have previously bought from a couple of the people who are going to be involved, which is including myself. So this is Meet the Wool. This is some of her Romney naturally dyed Handspun. So this is, so which one is this? This one is hand dyed, naturally dyed with sandalwood. So this is Meet the Wool. So Handspun Irish yarn from Irish Romney. And then this one is dyed with madder root. Naturally dyed, and this is Romney as well, Handspun. So I don't know what to do with these. I think I was thinking about maybe making the Novemberist mittens by Vanessa Smith Designs. There's like a mitten and hat set, which I think this would be really nice. They have this gorgeous kind of chevron pattern. I bet it'd be so addictive and so easy to knit. It looks amazing. It's been popping up on my feed all the time. I love it. So I'm thinking of maybe using that for that. Anyway, so this is Sandra's own brand. This is her own wool. That's going to be available at the shop. And then also Susan, oh no, sorry, Sabine. Sabine is part of Back to the Source. So I bought these the last time I was up in Glore. She brought some of her beautiful wool. So these are huge hanks now. Oh, and they're so sheepy. They're delicious. So these are organic wool, Irish Shetland lamb. This is the Irish Shetland lamb, and this is Irish Zwartbles yarn. So Zwartbles is a breed which is dark, and then these are the Shetland lamb. So you can see this is kind of variegated. This is all hand spun on Sabine's wheel, which is actually an Irish wheel. I believe it's a Johnny Shields wheel that she uses to spin this. So that's going to be from her. So these are some of the products which will be available. I'm also thinking of weaving up some scarves for sale. I'm going to be selling some of my products using Irish yarn if I can, and my own hand spun. So it's kind of a special place in my heart. And I am also there, as well as a shop, a gallery and a workspace for people to come and see how it's done. There's also going to be classes. Now this is the first time that I am actually going to be teaching classes. I've wanted to do it for a while, but I think I'm just a bit nervous about what I would teach, where I would do it, and there was no space for me to do it. But now there is. So if anyone is interested, start following the Instagram and the Facebook page and the Twitter. It's all Irish Fibre Crafters, and you'll be able to see when we start putting up workshop dates. There's also possibly an opportunity for an Airbnb situation, so you could stay for the weekend, you know, have a class on Saturday and a class on Sunday and stay the weekend. One of the other ladies who's taking part in the group is nearby, and she has a beautiful Airbnb. So it's a very exciting prospect, and I'm so excited to be offering different things. I would like some feedback on, say money was no object and you live near me and you could get to a class run by me. I want to ask, what would you like me to teach? What would you like me to teach you? So I have options, like I can get looms, small rigid head looms, so I can teach weaving. I can teach, it would be a day class, a day course. So that would be weave a scarf in a day. You'd learn all about warping, all about the different patterns that you can get from plain weave, learn all about the loom, and you'd actually come out with a scarf at the end of the day. That's totally doable. I can also teach spinning. I can teach hand spinning on a spindle. I can't exactly teach too much about spinning. I can probably do one-on-ones. I'd have to buy another wheel to do that because I only have the one wheel. So it's good to be able to sit beside someone and spin at the same time, because then they can see what you're doing. But would that be something interesting? I can also teach knitting, I suppose. I feel like I'm not sure that I have enough, what's the word, expertise in any one area. But I'm sure I do actually, and I would just like your advice, because I suppose you guys are watching this and I've heard from a lot of you that I've taught you a lot. So I would just like some feedback on maybe a class, a dream class that you'd love to be able to take. What would your dream class be? And as a prize for those who answer with a comment just down below in the YouTube video, I'm going to give away a skein of my Handspun. Oh, what a great idea. Oh, I've just come up with that. I always do this. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Okay. Blue wool, sorry. This is going to be my prize. So anyone who answers with a suggestion for a class that they might like to take from me will win this skein of yarn. So get answering quick! Put something down below, quick! So that's really special because I don't know what to do with this. It's really nice. This is a Cheviot blend, and it was dyed by Ellie and Ada and hand spun by me. It's a 2-ply fingering weight, fingering to sport weight, and it's very pretty altogether. I think the name of the colorway was Autumn Berries or something. It's really nice, beautiful color. So that's going to be the prize for, and I'm just going to pick randomly from the comments down below. So, but if the comment isn't related to a class that you'd like me to teach, or a suggestion of a class, I'll redraw and wait until I get a comment that's relevant. So yay! So that's really exciting. I'm so excited about this. I'm having a little bit of a deep thought about what I want, where I want to be in 5 to 10 years. And I'm feeling like last year I was incredibly busy. I was I felt a lot of overwhelm. I felt like I didn't really know what I wanted, so I was doing everything, and it was a bit up in the air about what I should focus my energy on. And now I've decided, you know what, let's add to that by teaching as well. So that's very exciting. So if you want to get in contact, okay, so the classes that they're definitely thinking about offering are knitting, crochet, spinning, weaving and felting. That's very interesting. Using only Irish wool and alpaca. Using mostly Irish wool and alpaca. So if you want to get in contact, if you want to take part, if you want to be part of the group, that is, if you are interested in selling some of your hand spun, some of your creations, I don't think it has to be hand spun, but you can converse with Sandra about that. So it's the irishfibercrafters@gmail.com, and I'll just put it down below just so you know. So that's really awesome. I'm so excited about all of that business. So speaking of spinning, I've kind of only been working on hand spun projects. I kind of seem to have automatically gone to those sorts of things, which is lovely, but it makes me look at all my stash behind me and be like, I need to start using it. But you know what? I had a wonderful friend of mine, Carmen from Brisbane in Australia, stay with me there the other day, and Carmen actually it was funny. She contacted me asking me about advice about where she was going. She was traveling around Ireland, and then she arrived in at my knit night, and I suddenly realized, like, through talking to her, that I've actually been talking to her for a lot longer than I originally thought. And that's funny. The funny thing about the internet is it's kind of disconnected, and you're not really, for me anyway, I kind of talk to everybody all the time, and I have a very bad memory, which is entirely my fault. So I was chatting away to Carmen, and then I realised that she was friends with a friend of mine who I met through the International Virtual Knit Nights, Darren Berry. And unfortunately, Darren passed away in October, and it was a very sudden, very shocking passing. And Carmen actually was the one to reach out to me to let me know that she had passed away, and I was really grateful for that. Thank you very much, Carmen, you're very sweet. And it just made me realise, you know, all of this stash, all of my things that I buy from people that I love to, you know, knit with them or just have them or support the person that I want. What if, God forbid, or any higher power that forbids, anything happened to me? What would happen to my stash? Like, it's a big kind of thing to give to someone, and you know, it's a big ask really to ask someone to go through everything and document it. Not even ask, just it could happen and they have to do it. You know, like, how do you send it all to a charity shop? Like, oh, or how do you, you know, how do you do these things? So anyway, I was thinking about that a little bit. That's a little bit of a tangent. Sorry. Tangent delicious. So let's get back to where we go. We had a lovely knit night, and it was very lovely seeing Carmen and having a chat with her. She turned out she was a teacher, and one of my other friends, Liz, is a teacher as well. So they had great fun talking about the different teachery type things. And Barbara from Knitting I Love came along, and that was really nice. It was really special. She gave everybody a little one of her little beautiful tags that she has. So sweet. And Terry was there from My Cottage Number 9, who is the designer and maker of these beautiful bags. Oops. She has some amazing bags in the works, by the way. This one is huge. This is actually my handbag at the moment. What's in here? Coffee mug, sleep phones. Oh, dates. Vegan treats. Some oils. Charger. This cute little charger. Ooh, my charger is a foldy-uppy. It's actually really cute. I think Backstage Kath gave this little pouch to me. Really awesome, because it's got my charger in there and a plug, you know, with the poppy-uppy. Oh, amazing. So I just keep it in that bag, which I carry everywhere with me. That's kind of my going to work bag now. It used to be my Plistra backpack, but I am knitting on. Let's talk about this project that I'm knitting on. Everything's going all over the place today. That's alright. That's called Babbles Traveling Yarns for a reason. Okay, so this is the project that I'm working on. So it's kind of huge, and it was in this bag, which means that I want to bring this everywhere with me all the time. So it becomes my handbag, which is perfect. Because it's got these wonderful, really strong handles. Oh, I love a bag with handles. 2 handles as well, so nothing falls out the other side. Yeah, so I'm working on this beautiful project. In case you don't know, this is my Handspun Yume sweater by Isabel Kramer. So the fibre was a yarn club by Hello Yarn Club, Adrian in the States. It was March 2015 or 13, I don't remember, but it's called Whales, Ships and Icebergs, or Ships, Whales and Icebergs, or those 3 words in some combination. I I don't know. I'm sure I have the plastic somewhere, and I don't write things down at all. Oh well. So look how much I've done. Look how much I've done. Ah, I love it. So I'm on a tiny little cord. Oh, by the way, last week I talked more about the different tips I have for knitting miles and miles of stockinette and making it a bit easier. Mars from the Hey Brownberry podcast was like, you've changed my life, because I knit with 2 different sizes of needle. You see that? This needle is much bigger than this needle. And that's to make it easier to get the stitches off the left side and onto the right side. Anyway, she was like, because she's working on this really long project. I don't know, she has some mad amount of stitches on it, like 600 stitches or something like that. You are impressive, Mars. Impressive lady. She's fabulous. You should go follow her if you don't. She's a lovely podcast and she's a lovely person. So, my upside down Yume sweater. So this is how my fractal spin is working up. Now fractal spin is something I talked about last week as well. It just means that there's one strand running all the way through the whole thing of the braid from start to finish. Let me see, I have my little braid, which was, a tip by the way, to keep a little braid of something you're spinning. This was a tip from Spinny Buns, Alana Wilcox, who has a fabulous book on how to deal with colour in your braids. So if you see here, oh, this is kind of going, so that the top is kind of blue, and then it goes into this brown section in the middle, and the arms, and then there's a blue section here, and now I'm into the brown section at the bottom, and then there'll be another little tiny bit of blue, and then I think I'll be done. I'm really interested in this. Let's have a little look at the balls and see how far left of the brown that I have to do, because as you can see, there's obviously lots of other colours going on in those main colours. Like you've got specks of blue in there, you've got specks of brown in the blue here, and that's what the fractal ply is all about. If you're interested, go back to the previous podcast and I talk about it a lot more. So let's just see. I think I have quite a lot of brown left until I get to this blue section. And actually I have loads in this. I don't know what's going on there. But yeah, so I have quite a lot of brown left. It goes quite dark now. Ooh, interesting. And then in the middle should be a lighter blue. You can see it there. See this? It's deep in there somewhere. But yeah, so this is obviously all, oh no, I have one more bit here. I have this little segment. So actually it's all kind of looking the same here, but I'm knitting with these 3 at the moment. And what I want to do is somehow make sure that I'm working the sleeves so they don't look so kind of off. I don't know how to do that. I think I might have to let go of the control of trying to knit with Handspun and have it make too much sense, because sometimes you just can't control how it's going to work out. I feel like I've done a really good job. I've got what I wanted out of this, but the sleeves are going to be another thing altogether. I want to keep the sleeves even because I'm a bit of an even person. I like things to be even, but it might just be a situation where I need to let go a little bit, because I don't think it's going to be possible. What I do need to do is take the small needle out and put a big needle in and do some serious trying on and checking it and see how I feel about it. I need to work a little bit on, I've lost a marker, sorry, I'm just picking up all my stitches again. Because I've lost them off the thing which is not smart. Okay. I have a little cocoa knits marker somewhere on the floor. I'll find it in a minute. So yeah, I need to try it on and see how long it is. I want it to go to hip length, but just like the top of, like this length here. Oh, hang on, sorry, my fabulous apron. Oh, there's the marker. So I want it to go to like hip kind of like knickers line, you know. Anyway, my knickers line anyway. Which is why we make our own clothes, to make us fit ourselves in our own bodies. It's great. I think it's great. So that's what I'm working on at the moment. I'm gonna put all those back in there so they don't get lost. Fabulous. And this is literally the only thing I've been working on. Literally the only thing I've been working on. I've just been a little bit monogamous, which is nice. I've been working quite a lot. I worked yesterday, I worked last weekend. Yeah, so it's been a bit busy. Yeah, so I've been knitting on this. I've been bringing it into work and knitting on this. I haven't been knitting on my socks so much. I haven't even turned the heel on any one of them. It's ridiculous. But anyway, there we are. That's where my little beautiful Cocoa Knits marker goes. Hi, Cocoa Knits. Put that in there. So I want to talk a little bit now about my spinning. I've been spinning a little bit. And I've been spinning some bats from Pretty Funky Fibre. And I'll show you what a bat looks like. This is a bat. Ha, not really. No, sorry. That's Pretty Funky Fibre. She has these fabulous labels, and they're actually seed paper, so you can plant them in your garden and they will grow flowers. So this is a bat. This is the next bat I'm going to be working on. They're all presented like this with a little bow, and it's very cute and warm. This one is made from merino, yak, silk and mint fibre. I sent a few pictures to Helen, who is the dyer, or the creator, the yarn prepinator, fibre prepinator of these bats, and I sent her a few pictures from Pinterest, you know, pictures that I just love the colour scheme of, and she sent me 5 bats. So I've got 2 more to do. So these are the next 2. This one is merino and soy fibre. So it's got this deep green, and then I've got this blue. So nice. Make sure I put them back in the same place. And I've already spun. One is on the bobbin, one I just finished, a green one, and then this like deep bluey orangey one, which is kind of really interesting. So I love this project. They're all just 50 grams, so they're really easy to spin. They're really quick to spin. They're really satisfying. You can spin a bobbin in a night, and then I'm actually 3-plying them. So I'm chain plying the colours. And because they're all quite similar, they've been blended together. There's no kind of concern about keeping all the colours or anything like that. It's just all kind of mad colours. So anytime I'm coming across a quite solid part of the white section of the bat, so like this section there, that white section, I try and separate it out to try and have a strand of white, so that then when it actually marls, when you spin it together, you get this really nice colour. So if you see, this is a 3-ply. In this one here, you have a white, a blue and a purple, and then it goes blue, white, purple, so it changes up a little bit. But they're all turning out to be kind of like a DK worstedy, which is generally my default. If I spin 2 of my singles together, I get a sport weight, fingering to sport weight. So my singles are generally kind of a lace size, which then if you multiply by 2, you get a sport, and if you multiply by 2 again, or if you multiply by 3, you'll get like a worsted weight, a little heavier than a DK. So yeah, it's handy actually getting a single that's not too fine, so it doesn't take you forever to spin. So try and keep your singles at least lace. For me anyway, it's handy. Obviously if you want to spin thinner for a 2-ply lace, then good luck. Sounds awful, but you know, if that's what you want to do with your life, do it. You know, sometimes when you're knitting away and some non-knitter comes up to you and goes, "Oh, What are you doing? I don't have the patience for it. I'd eat it before I'd make it. I'm hearing that a lot. Is that just an Irish phrase? Does anyone else get that? I'm exhausted from hearing it. I'd eat it. Well, please don't. I've made it. Go away from me. Stop eating my stuff. What's going on? Why do they have to say it? It's almost like they're saying, like, you know, oh, I don't have the time. You have so much time on your hands. You're so lucky to have all this time. I'm too busy, because people like prize busyness. Whatever. No. Oh well, that tea's cold and strong. I don't like it. I'll still drink it because I need to wet my whistle for talking to you. There goes my needles again. There goes my stitches again. This is very annoying. Okay, so that's my spinning project. Now I'm going to be using that for a cowl project called the Shift Cowl by Andrea Mowry. It's going to be quite nice. I really love the way Handspun looks in that pattern. I'll pop up a picture here if I can. There's a shawl and a cowl. I want to do the cowl because I find that I enjoy using the cowl more. Because I have a cowl and it's so comfy. It's the Paris and Berlin cowl, and it was so fast to knit and it stays on. I don't have to worry about it. It's like this apron. It's got sheeps on it. And I love wearing it because it's got a pocket in the front. And at the moment I'm wearing leggings and a jumper with no pockets. So also I was cooking some soup. So I've just left it on for the podcast because it's got pockets in it. And we know how we feel about pockets. So anyway, the cowl does not have pockets, but it stays on you and you don't have to be fiddling with it and foo-string and all that jazz. So that's what I'm hoping to make out of these. I love the different colours, but it's got like, it's all made by the same dyer. I think they'll all go together because they have this kind of blue, purple, greeny tinge to them. So I think that's going to be really, really pretty once it gets made. Hey, hey, hey. So yeah, that's what I've been making. However, I've been reading a lot too. My Ply magazine came, finally. This was my sock yarn edition. Ply, and that it's actually really interesting. There is a number of really fascinating projects going on in here. There's some mad tests that people have done. They've set up a sander to sand only one side of their swatch, and they've spun loads of different types of sock yarn to see which one lasts the longest, and it's really interesting. I won't give it away. You have to buy it to figure out. So yeah, they've got different ideas of like self-striping, how they work up with colours. Oh yeah, so colour studies on how you actually split your braids to form your sock yarn. I haven't read that yet. That sounds fascinating. Who was it? There's a really interesting article about the history of socks, about when they started coming about, and the first type of socks were actually just woven fabric that were wrapped around your feet, and then came the nalbind socks, which is nalbinding, which is a form of like making knots with a needle, with a sewing needle, and that was kind of in Roman times, I think, a little bit, yeah, perhaps. Egyptian times, and then knitting actually came to us from the Middle East apparently, so the historical record shows. So it's actually it's not a European tradition at all. It's actually more the nalbinding is more kind of, it came up from when civilization was forming in the cradle, back like where Syria is now, in Egypt and all the Middle East. So that was kind of the big cities, and that's when kind of luxury clothing products became important, and weaving and all these things. So the nalbinding actually travelled up into Scandinavia and all around kind of the Viking era, and then about 1,000 years ago apparently that's that's when knitting started coming through, again from the Middle East, not from Europe at all. So that was really interesting. I love this magazine. It's actually so fascinating. They get loads of different what's it called, submissions from all over the world, obviously English speaking, because it's an English magazine. If you're interested actually in submitting, they can, there's a little there's a free monthly newsletter, and that's where they ask for their calls for articles, dyers, spinners and designers, and articles and projects that we just ran out of space for. So that's where they actually call for articles. So if you're interested in supplying or interested in finding out more about how you can actually get published in this magazine, you can sign up at plymagazine.com. So if you're interested in that. But I just wanted to show something there. Oh yeah, I haven't read this article just yet because I just got it there yesterday. But there was an article by Laurie Patterson who talks about the Sock Summit, a remembrance. So the Sock Summit was where people first started thinking about socks, I think. I need to read it a little bit more, but it was with Stephanie Pearl McPhee. I think I listened to an advert about it. Or not an advert, maybe a podcast. People were talking about it in 2009, whereas basically just sock design workshops. It was all about socks, knitting socks, just socks, nothing else. So there was the Guinness World Record for people knitting simultaneously using 2 needles. That's gas. And then there was another sock summit, it's hard to say, in 2011. That was really interesting. Look at all these people. Look at all of them. That's when the sock craze came along, so they say. Do you know, it's kind of made it like, why would you, people would previously would be like, why would you ever knit socks? Knit a jumper, knit baby things, knit a scarf or a hat or something visible. Why would you ever knit socks? And then Stephanie McPhee came along, changed everyone's minds. So Laurie Patterson, in 1990, a wise woman taught Laurie Patterson to knit as a clandestine feminist act. I love it! She's worked at a couple of yarn stores and taught women's studies, learned to spin and raised a child. She's the new owner of Abstract Fibres and can be found on Instagram as Brown People Knitting. I just love it. I wanted to read more about Stephanie Pearl McPhee actually, so that's great. I'll go back through that properly. But it gives you loads of techniques on how to spin socks. It analyses loads of different ways to spin, loads of different types of yarns, and kind of analyse which one is best. I don't think there's any one which is best. It's probably just how they work and the different yeah, and then there's all this talk about the different fibres. And then there's a couple of patterns in there as well, which is so nice. There's a whole article about superwash, a good yarn, nylon versus mohair. I've heard about that argument. There's an article then about mending by Tom Van Gien. And that is all about Tom of Holland, who is a very interesting man, and he teaches you how to do all the things. Sock darning, shows you how to do a woven darn. There's a duplicate stitch thing going on in there. Oh, that one's so neat. Look at that. I want to do that. Replacing toes, replacing heels. It goes through the whole thing about trying to make your socks last longer. This is a fantastic issue. Fantastic. Look at that. So like if it really cannot be saved, you cut it out and then knit a whole new heel. I love that. That's really good. So yeah, I do really recommend this one if you're interested in spinning for socks. I'm not sure that I am, but it may be something in the future which I might be interested in doing. It seems scary because I think I'd have to spin so much finer to get like the gauge, because you have to at least have a 3-ply if not a 4-ply. And then, you know, do I want DK weight socks? Maybe I just want DK weight socks. Anyway, So thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a wonderful week, and I'll see you next weekend. Bye.